Can you introduce yourself and what do you do for a living?
My name is Demushi. I'm a trainee solicitor at Bolt Burden.
How old were you back when the Olympic Games 2012 took place in London, and where were you when learned that London was announced to host the Olympic Games, and how did you feel?
So in 2012 I was 16 years old. I believe the Olympic bid victory was announced in 2005, so I may have been 9 or 10. I don't remember specifically where I was. I'm hoping I was in school. And one thing I do remember is seeing it on the news after, people waving the flags in celebration, Dame Kelly Holmes jumping up and down with excitement. And I remember my mum saying, you know, it's going to bring massive opportunities and you never know, maybe one day you'll get a chance to work at the Olympic Games.
Have you attended any Olympic and Paralympic Games, and can you describe what was the atmosphere like?
I didn't get a chance to attend any of the games because at the time I was working in the athletes village in the massive dining room. You know, it was one of my first jobs as I was 16, but it was amazing, you know, seeing all the different athletes. I remember seeing Serena Williams, I remember seeing Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, the entire USA basketball team, so LeBron James, the late Kobe Bryant. You know, it was an amazing experience being surrounded by these athletes who were really nice and, you know, talked to us and things like that. So.
Have you been proactively involved in several campaigns and activities that happened back at the time? Can you share some of the key events you recall about the activities you took part?
Yeah, so I remember through London Citizens and Citizens UK, we ran 2 parallel campaigns in the build-up to the London 2012 Olympics. The first was local jobs for local people. So when it was decided that the London 2012 Olympics would be in East London in Stratford, the local chapter of Citizens UK Telco decided that, you know, the first pick of jobs that would be created by the Olympics should go to the people who live in the surrounding areas, so in the East London boroughs like Newham, Redbridge, Hackney, etc. The other part of it was we wanted the Olympic Games to be a living wage paying Olympics, so we wanted every single person who worked there not to be paid a minimum wage, but to be paid the actual London living wage. Both were really successful. You know, I remember meeting with the Olympic organising committee, LOCOG, and I remember Lord Sebastian Coe came to an event with us and, you know, publicly committed that the London Olympic Games would be the first ever living wage Olympics. So it was a great feeling and great success.
How did your involvement in the Olympic Games help you in your future career prospects?
Well, for me and a lot of the other young people at the time who were involved in that, it was basically our first job. You know, I was 16, just opened a bank account, the first ever, you know, wage I ever received, the first pay slip I ever received was from that. You know, fast forward 2 years after the Olympics, I was applying for university and it was just an amazing thing to put on my personal statement. You know, I had something to talk about, an experience that I was really proud of, and, you know, I remember the university I ended up going to, you know, they said, you know, one of the things we really liked about you was the strength of your personal statement and the things you did, you know, outside of school, and that was one of the things that I could write about.
Looking back at the time before the London Olympic Games, what are some of the main changes that happened in the area?
So, I mean, Stratford is completely unrecognisable from, you know, before the Olympics. You know, we had Westfield open in November 2011. All the apartment blocks that have gone up. East Village, where during the Olympics was the old athletes village and then was converted into houses. You know, the greenery, the space, the canal system, the stadiums are still great, and it's fantastic that the swimming pool is now open to the public. So this is where, you know, the Michael Phelps was swimming, and the events were held, and now it's a public pool, and the whole area is just completely, you know, regenerated and brought to life. Like, I don't remember what was here before the Olympics, but now it's, you know, it's Stratford, it's, you know, Westfield, East Village. It's a nice place to be.
Based on your opinion, how have the revitalisation of the area and the Olympic legacy lived on to inspire the community and the new generations?
Well, the revitalisation of this part of Stratford, you know, with Westfield being open, some of the businesses that have moved here, for example, just looking in that direction, you can see the Financial Conduct Authority building, TfL. You know, it's created a new business hub in London, away from the city, away from Canary Wharf, into the heart of East London. for young people, the opportunities, for some of their first jobs, for example, in retail in Westfield Shopping Centre are amazing. For sport in the area, it's fantastic with, the swimming pool, West Ham Stadium being here. It brings people from all over London, all over the UK. To this part of Stratford where, pre-Olympics people may not have ever come to Stratford because maybe there wasn't anything here for them. And now, with Stratford International Station, people coming from everywhere, it's fantastic.
You have started your community involvement at an early age. What is your message for young people aspiring to support community and build a successful career?
Your community is your first network. I never thought, when I was younger, that being involved in the community would build a network that I could then turn around and use in a professional setting. My aspiration is to be a solicitor. I've had lots of people in the community come to me, seeking legal advice or want to be introduced to a solicitor, and coming to someone that they trust first off is amazing. So for young people, think about what your career aspirations are and realize that your community will be your first network or networking group that you will ever have. Even if it's just to help you get into university, help you find your first job, it all starts with community, and I think it's a really important part. And it certainly was for me. So.